Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to our episodes covering the 2025 International Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross season. Thanks for joining me. We were treated to an entire week of racing in Foix, France for the ICF Junior and Under-23 Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross World Championships. While not a familiar course to everyone, the Junior Worlds have been there before. In 2010, winners were future Olympic champions Jess Fox from Australia in both K1 and C1, Giovanni de Janeiro from Italy, and Kirill Sitkin from Russian Federation. Junior and Under-23 Worlds comprise team races, individual slalom, kayak cross individual, and kayak cross head-to-head. It must be said that the format changes from race to race. For Junior Under-23 Worlds, we had a single heat semi-final with the top 12 progressing to the final. Interestingly, the Junior Under-23 Worlds included 6 Olympians, of whom Titouan Castryck from France, Evie Leafarth from USA, both won medals in Paris last year. Today I have contributions from Under-23 World Champions, Alina Hocevar from Slovenia, Titouan Castryck from France, Nick Collier from New Zealand, and Sam Lever from Great Britain, and Junior World Champion Ziga Hocevar from Slovenia. There are too many winners to realistically list them all here, sorry. Medals in Junior and Under-23, including team races, were spread across 13 national federations. 5 national federations took medals in both Junior and Under-23. Can you guess who? Czechia took the most medals by some margin with 7 gold, 5 silver and 6 bronze, an amazing depth of talent. Among the other 5 nations with medals in Junior and Under-23 were Slovenia, France, Great Britain and Germany. I start today with 2 conversations with Olympic silver medalist Titouan Castryck. He's also a former double junior world champion. One recorded after World Cup 3 in Prague, and then a second recorded after the Junior Under-23 Worlds in Foix. As you will hear, I hope I don't offend him by noting that I hadn't previously seen him as a kayak cross athlete.
In Prague, of course, I'm very happy about the result, very happy to be back on the podium with Anatol again and taking the lead in the overall and the world ranking. So it was a perfect operation last week. For the final, I was just thinking about having fun and trying to not going back to Paris after Prague with like a really bad week of paddling in Prague. So yeah, just trying to enjoy myself and do the best I can. And it worked pretty well. I don't think it was like the most beautiful run to watch, but it worked and it was fast. So it's all I can wish for. And I will this week I'm in Foix. I will try my best again and aiming for a gold in Under-23 for sure. And I'm really looking forward to like those two months of training after Foix, get back to training and really prepare well for the end of the season, try to get on this overall World Cup podium and really aiming for the World Championships in Paris as well for sure. I'm really looking forward for 2 months of really good training, have good physical training, get back into like the technique mood and everything, and yeah, really hoping that it's gonna work well in Paris. I feel like the young guys like me, Anatol, and maybe Jakub Proshi or some other young guys, it's like a really big opportunity for us to get medals, get into the really high level and into the top for us, because like all the old guys are taking their life a bit more seriously this year, taking kayak maybe rethinking about their life, about the way they want to do it. So for us, I think it's a huge opportunity, and I think that's maybe why we are also going this well with Anatol. And yeah, I hope it's gonna keep going. But about winning this Under-23 World gold medal, it's of course a pleasure to win another title. And yeah, I've been doing pretty well in the junior, winning the 2 world champs I took race starting, and it was a really great achievement for me at that time. And now those under 23 race are something I'm a bit less focusing on. I got the senior season as well, so I'm way more focused on that. So I was going on this 2025 World Championships a bit scared, as I would like to say, because it's always hard to like come after such a long season, half of the season. You're a bit tired, you're not feeling that motivated. It's a bit sometimes hard to feel motivated for this young race, but I was scared to as well do it like I did in 2023 when I raced in Krakow. I got third place, but I was not feeling that well in the head at this time. Before each run, I was just thinking about one more run and then you're gonna be on holiday. So this year, I think I handled the event pretty well. I was really enjoying the moment with the team, with the young guys and with the friends. And of course it was in France as well, so it helped a lot. I had some friends, my family there, so I think it made such a big difference. I didn't know the course that much. I only went there maybe for five days in my life, so I was a bit skeptic about that, not knowing the course that much. But at the end of the race, it didn't make such a big difference. Really happy about that. And I think I handled the race pretty well. It was a pretty unique spot, I think, for some worlds. Natural course with really low water and a lot of complaining about all the athletes about the level of the water. And just really enjoy paddling, having good speed, and just enjoy the moment, and the result was there. So it was really good. It hurts a bit myself that you're saying me that you don't see me as a cross paddler, but that's kind of true. I've never got like really good result. I only got one World Cup medal in Prague 2 years ago. But I've been struggling a bit. I think I'm training quite a lot in cross, so I've been really looking forward to get a medal one day, and it happened. It's only in a under 23 category, but it's still pretty good. I'm looking forward to build on this race. But I've been training quite a lot, and I'm gonna say maybe a bit unlucky on the start of the season on the senior half, having pretty bad luck, having fault in the time trial sometimes, breaking my paddle on some head-to-head, and I'm just really happy that I made it to the final. I also think we could have done 1 and 2 with Gino in this final, but he's still pretty good. I'm just a bit sad for him that he got the 4th place when he only came to Foix for the cross, but that's life, and that's it. I'm just hoping that I will be able to continue on this momentum in the cross and keep it going, and maybe start to get some better results in the future on the senior level.
That was Titouan Castryck, under-23 world champion in K1 men. He also took silver in both the individual kayak cross time trial and in the kayak cross head-to-head. He spoke to us from Foix, France. Next, I spoke to Olympian Alina Hocevar from Slovenia, new under-23 world champion in K1 women and bronze medalist in C1 women. She is also a former junior world champion.
First of all, thank you for the congratulations. These words were truly incredible. Already last year, my brother and I had amazing world championships. Together, we won 6 medals. It was a lot. It was special. I came 3rd in canoe and 2nd in kayak. For me, this was a really good race right before Olympics. But I have to admit that 2nd place hurt a bit because I missed the title by just 0.12 seconds. And that's why this year I wanted the win even more. I really, really wanted to get that one title that was still missing from my collection. I already won the junior title. It was back in 2018 when I was 16. I won in Ivrea. It was a bit unexpected result. But I guess that made the experience even more unforgettable, and I wanted to relive those feelings and complete the set with the under 23 World Champion title here. Yeah, because this was my last year in the under 23 category, so it was my last chance. I gave it everything I had. I prepared really well for the race, even though the season had already been long and packed with senior level competitions. I really wanted to keep focused for this one more week. I also knew I'd have to show my very best paddling here if I wanted to fight for the title, because in my opinion, our generation is extremely strong. And yeah, in the end, as expected, the competition was incredibly tough. Last year, there were even more of us in the mix, but yeah, even this year, some of the top favorites didn't make it to the final, which just shows how competitive our group is. However, I really wanted to deliver good runs here. This was my goal, and from the very beginning of the championships, I went into every run with confidence and determination. I knew what is my goal, and I didn't want to overthink things or play it safe. I tried to paddle each course as cleanly and optimally as possible. And yeah, I have to say I'm happy with almost all of my runs. There were for sure some mistakes, but altogether I showed good paddling. It was controlled. You could also see clear progression because I was in both categories, third in heats and then second in semifinals, and then in K1 I won in the final, and I came really close to repeating that result in a canoe. But yeah, unfortunately, I lost focus right at the end of the course. I got in my own head, made a small mistake, and then picked up this penalty touch in the pre-last gate, and that probably cost me another title. But I'm really happy with for Evie and Zuzana. And yeah, I'm also happy that I won in kayak and got this bronze in canoe, because that's definitely more than I hoped for, and I'm truly proud and satisfied. Yes, I definitely agree that my progress is visible from season to season. I've been competing in Senior World Cup since 2018, and I've been delivering solid performances. Even back in 2018, I managed to make it to the finals in canoe 3 times, what was really maybe unexpected, but really good. But then I wasn't quite good enough yet to push for the top spots in the final. So usually I finished around 8th place. But over the years, I've kept improving. I was training a lot, and the results started to come. And I've already won a bronze medal at World Cup in Titouan in 2023. And then this year in Prague, I added a silver. So hopefully a gold will follow soon. That's a wish. So yeah, almost every year I manage to achieve something new that I hadn't done before, and that's for me a strong sign that I'm on the right path. And yeah, even though I haven't had the same breakout success as my brother, I'm really happy with my own journey so far. I think I still have a lot to show. I feel like I'm learning from race to race, improving step by step. I always try to take something from each competition and use it to make the next one even better. I think canoe slalom is mentally very demanding sport, and I'm aware that there will always be ups and downs and ups and downs, and the key is not to give up. when things get tough, or not as planned, but to keep fighting again and again. And yeah, I agree that often it's very hard, especially in the winter. But on the other hand, I enjoy also this part of the year, so the winter, when I can push myself to the limits, and then I try to show my work at the races in the summer. So far, I'm really proud of what I've shown. I'm really happy that I made to the finals at the Olympic Games in Paris. Even though then the final run didn't go as I wanted, it was unforgettable experience. And then two races that I will never forget are definitely two finals from World Championships. So having won both the junior and the under 23 World Champion titles means a lot to me. And I guess now the next goal is clear now.
That was Alina Hocevar, winner of the under-23 K1 women and bronze medalist in the C1 women. She spoke to us from Ljubljana, Slovenia. Next, I spoke to our two new kayak cross under-23 world champions. Sam Lever from Great Britain took the individual time trial title, while Nick Collier from New Zealand secured the title in the kayak cross head-to-head final. Given my introductory comment, I started by asking Sam about Foix and the course there.
Always going to be a pretty unique race, I think, when they announced that it was going to be held on a natural course. I think everyone was quite excited, but also kind of anxious to see what that was going to be like and how it would play out. Obviously, we don't really race on natural rivers. We race on Solkan, but even that's a bit more controlled than what Foix is. It was definitely a new experience for most people in terms of racing on it. First time in 15 years, so it felt like a special World Championships, I would say. The training wasn't easy beforehand, that's for sure. Before the official training days, which is only about 5 days before the race, the water levels just weren't consistent at all. Like sometimes the water would just turn off mid-session and it just became basically a boneyard, just totally rocky, hurt your boat and things. So there was definitely a bit of adapting and things that had to go on, a bit different from an artificial course where kind of everything's given to you on a plate a little bit. But in terms of the actual water itself and the race, and I think it just made things, it was a bit more punishing sometimes for small mistakes. I think in whitewater courses that have more stoppers and things and more features, you can make time in places more than you could in Foix. I don't feel like there was anywhere where you could really gub people, take a big chunk out of them. So you're getting punished a lot for wee small mistakes. And also with the speed of the water, if you would make a mistake, it just catch up on you really fast. You couldn't take a moment to pause. So it made for an interesting race in slalom, especially in that perspective. It was nice as well holding it in a smallish town like Foix, where canoeing's clearly a pretty big part of their identity. Obviously, the river is kind of what the town is based around, and with canoe slalom being big in France due to the pretty famous figures, I think the whole town kind of got behind the race, which was like really cool to see. The riverbank wasn't a proper grandstand or anything, but I mean, people were just sat on the kind of mud hill beside the course. People were sat anywhere they could to get a view of the race, and it built actually a pretty nice atmosphere, I would say. Just that entire river left bank was just completely mobbed with people, so it was pretty good to see. It felt like a big crowd for an old school race in the 80s or something, those things that you watch clips of, and my parents have showed me that they've been racing on and things. So it felt like a pretty cool thing to be a part of, I would say. And hopefully going forward there can be more natural river races, to be completely honest, if they can control the water level. That's the thing. Can you control the water level? If you can, then I don't see any reason not to just chuck some more races on natural courses like that. Definitely makes for a pretty fun time.
That was Sam Lever, under-23 world champion in individual kayak cross time trial. He talked to us from home near Lee Valley, UK. Next, I connected with under-23 kayak cross head-to-head winner Nick Collier. I took the opportunity to ask him about New Zealand teammate Finn Butcher's Olympic title.
Crossing the finish line, I was hit with this rush of euphoria, mixed with a huge sense of relief. Not just relief that I'd won, but that everything I'd poured into the sport over the years, training alone, making sacrifices, backing myself when there wasn't always external support, had actually paid off. In that moment, it felt like the weight of those long solo sessions, the near misses, the setbacks, all of it lifted. It wasn't just about being the fastest on the day. It was about proving to myself that journey I'd chosen was worth it. Just after the on-water interview, the Kiwi crew launched themselves into the river, clothes and all, to celebrate. That moment was pure joy. It wasn't just a personal win. It was something bigger. This was New Zealand's first ever under-23 gold, and with Ollie Puckner also claiming silver in the under-23 men's C1, it became the most successful junior and under-23 world champs campaign our country had ever had. To be part of that kind of history, surrounded by people who shared the grind, it made everything even more meaningful. The kayak cross race in Foix wasn't your typical event. Usually the start ramp is stretching straight across the river, which means all lanes offer pretty much the same options. So everyone's working with similar strategies, but in Foix the ramp was set parallel to the river. And that kind of changed everything. Each lane demanded a different approach. So my coach and I quickly analysed the junior heats that ran before us and put together a simple but sharp plan based on what was working and what wasn't. Right from the start, it paid off. I edged out my heat win in a photo finish, then carried that momentum through my quarterfinal and semi-final all the way to the final. The turnaround between the semi and the final was so quick, I barely had time to get nervous, which honestly might have been a good thing. Still, lining up with 4 paddlers and knowing only 3 medals were on offer, that definitely sharpens your focus. My start in the final wasn't perfect. Titouan came at me fast, but I got some good, powerful strokes, tucked in behind Gino's tail, and managed to create a small but crucial gap from third. From there, I stuck to the plan, splitting from Gino and taking my own upstream. I came out in first, and the roar of the crowd hit me more as a feeling than a sound. It was wild. Heading into the final upstream gate, I glanced back twice and saw Gino right behind me. That was the first bit of contact all competition. I defended the upstream with a move I'd practiced over and over with Callan Gilbert, New Zealand's Olympian in Tokyo, during prep for the Paris Olympic qualifiers last year. It held. I came out of the upstream still in front, but now Titouan was chasing hard. That final sprint was flat out electric. I gave it everything and just held on to take the win and become the under-23 world champion. Finn Butcher winning gold at the Paris Olympics and more recently at the Prague World Cup is awesome, but it's not connected to my result in Foix. Finn's been training independently with Aaron Osborne, while I've actually been living out of a van and coaching myself for the past 3 to 4 years. That said, things are shifting for me. I've just started working with a coach, Nico Boudouin, which is a really exciting step. What Finn and I do share though is where we came from. We both grew up in the small town of Alexandria, population 6,000, and came through the Central Otago Whitewater Club. It gave us a really broad base in all kinds of kayaking. Maybe that kind of upbringing planted the seeds for success we're both now chasing in our own ways.
That was Nick Collier, under-23 world champion in kayak cross head-to-head. He talked to us from Pau, France. Finally today, let's talk to one of the winners from the Junior Worlds, Ziga Hocevar. We heard from his sister earlier.
The course in Foix was, first of all, it was very shallow, like everybody said. There was not much water except for the last day for the cross eliminations. But it's natural course. The eddies were quite bad, if you ask me. Like every time you wanted to turn the boat, then you had to do like 2 more strokes to get out of the eddy, which it's not in my nature to do. For the last 5 years that I've been paddling, it was always just like a turn, one stroke out, and that's it. Here, you really had to push a bit more out of the gates. So yeah, I mean, also the lines were a bit longer. It wasn't like left, right, left, right. It was more like left and then 5 meters to the right. And yeah, it was a bit different. But I mean, I was struggling quite a lot actually. Like also on the trainings. I mean, the feeling was bad. Although also on the race was feeling bad, but it was actually the run was good. So yeah, it was lots of mixed feelings every time I finished the run on training or on a race. But yeah, it was the same for everybody. So there's no excuses. I mean, yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it paddling there. But everything except for the course, it was good. Like the organization was good. I mean, they did everything very well. Lots of people. Also for the spectators, I think it was quite good. So yeah, hats off to organization. It was very well. Two guys did much better, so I'm very happy for them. I mean, it's their career's best result, and maybe till now for sure, and that's a result that you can have forever, and you can be proud of it forever. So cross was my first priority this championship. Yeah, I mean the cross was amazing. Like also on trainings before the Worlds, like I was really preparing for this mentally. Like I knew that this time 80% of my battery on the last day it will not be enough. So I tried to do more intervals in kayak cross. I tried to through the whole winter. I had like the preparations were very good for the cross. Like I felt better. I was much heavier. I mean that's for cross it's quite good actually. Maybe not for slalom so good, but for cross for sure. And I knew already on selections and already on the World Cup in Po where I finished when I almost came to the final, and also in Prague I did quite good time trail, and yeah, then the mistake. But I was feeling much better much confident than last year. So when we arrived to Foix and we saw the course, I was like, okay, you need to win the time trails because otherwise you will be stuck maybe for a second or third start from the starting ramp, and that's maybe the end for the title, for the fight for the title. So I calculated a lot. I did lots of like lots of timing, which line is the best, and yeah, I was really preparing for that race. Like it's a one chance of opportunity because yeah, as we all know, I won K1, I won C1 twice, and cross was the only one that I was second last year. But yeah, if you want to say that you completed everything, the second is just not enough. So I really tried to do everything, and on the day of the time trail, it was lots of storm, and yeah, then I knew I have everything, so I just tried to relax and warm up. I actually played tennis with Eli Obringer, the son of Helmut. So yeah, I mean, I think everything was ready as best as it could be, and yeah, when I started the time trail, I knew, okay, now you push, you do the turn, you push, you do the turn again, you catch the line through the roll zone, and then just till the finish, you concentrate for the last up and try not to lose too much from the outside, which I did a little because I knew I will, but yeah, at the end, it was enough. And when I see the time and it was green in the finish, I was just like, yeah, that's good. That's very good. Also for tomorrow, and yeah, I celebrated a bit, not too much, because I wanted to win the eliminations very badly. And the next day, again, I knew what I had to do, and I was maybe a bit surprised that through the heats and quarters and maybe also semifinals that nobody attacked me on the first up. I was expecting it a little bit more. But yeah, on the other side, as I talked to my competitors, they said that they didn't want to attack me because it's a big chance that they don't make it out of the gate, which is true. Like, I also don't want to go attacking Joe Clark if it's no needed. So yeah, I mean, I actually had quite, that's not easy, but open way to the finals. In the finals, I did a perfect start. I practiced start like I don't know, 10 times on trainings, and I really knew what I have to do, and the start was always perfect. And yeah, then 2 strokes, and I had already a bit of a gap, and I knew that if the Diaz, I think it was behind me, if Diaz will not be on my tail, he will not be on my wave, which means that he will struggle, and I will have enough space to do a turn in the first up. And that's what happened. And when I turned, I just pushed, did the Eskimo roll and pushed again and go easy to the left up, do a turn. And when I caught the gate between my arms, I was like, okay, that's it, you're a world champion. And yeah, then just a very, very nice little pedal, easy pedal to the finish. And yeah, it was, to be honest, one of my happiest or more emotional win of my career, because yeah, as we said so many times this week, it's completed. And yeah, I knew that it will be hard because the level in juniors, it's so high, and my competitors are so good that it's like really, really hard. But and anything can happen, you can just broke a pedal, or you can stuck your pedal between the rocks, which happens to so many people, and they roll and it's game over. It's not their fault, just it's like yeah, they were unlucky. So this could also happen to me, and yeah, I'm very happy that it didn't. And yeah, it's amazing how everything came out in the end.
That was Ziga Hocevar, junior world champion in individual kayak cross time trial and kayak cross head-to-head. He also took silver in the junior K1 men and C1 men. He spoke to us from vacation in Croatia. Thanks to my guests today, Titouan Castryck, Alina Hocevar, Sam Lever, Nick Collier and Ziga Hocevar. These younger paddlers shared many reflective comments. I'm John Gregory, thanks for listening. If you enjoy the podcast, tell other people, send them a link, like, follow, or write a review. If you need more, read Tori Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. Our next episode will bring you results and paddler insights from the European Canoe Association Junior and Under-23 Championships in Solkan, Slovenia. It is followed at the end of August by the World Cup races in Titouan and Augsburg in early September. Final word to say that Titouan Castryck is leading the World Cup series after 3 races at a senior level. Stay safe.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube, and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.